Hello, you're very welcome to today's Reinventing Success Sessions. And today I am joined by the wonderful Sigrun. Sigrun, you're very welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Sarah. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, thank you. And in these sessions, we are talking to successful people in business to see how they have reinvented their success over the last few years. So Sigrun, can I start by asking you, could you just give us a little snapshot of where you were at in your life and your business about 3 years ago?
3 years ago, so that's 2013, September. Oh my. I had decided to start a business, but I wasn't sure about the business idea, and I basically I was out of a job. I had been sick, and I had lost my job. I was on unemployment benefits. I was a little bit ashamed to apply for that, but I did, and time was running out for me. So I had to get going. And I was running in circles, overthinking everything. And I remember clearly in September, 3 years ago, I had decided to start a blog. I felt like there must be a way out of my overthinking dilemma. So I set up a website and I wrote my first blog post. And the name of the blog post was Stop Overthinking, Start Doing. It was literally what I was going through, and it was just what came to my mind. It was like, the website was not going to get better. I had switched themes 5 times, and hey, just do it. Just go ahead and do it. And yeah, it was a kind of a frustrating period. Like, I knew I wanted to start a business. I was just overthinking that business idea. I was trying different ideas, and didn't sit right with me. So I think the words that came to my mind was constantly like, you got to find your true passion. You got to follow your true passion. And I wrote a series of blog posts around that. So yeah, 3 years ago, I was not necessarily in a good place, but I was starting to take action. So I think that's still positive.
And that feeling of running out of time, Did you, how did that feel for you? How did that feel? I mean, you were young then, and you had, a lot of, it's not like your life was running out or anything. So when you think about that now, that I'm running out of time, I mean, how did that feel for you?
It felt bad because I had been a successful business person. I had been running other people's company for 10 years. Then I got sick from one of those jobs and could work for 7 months, and then I was still able to get another job, and then I lost that one. And it was like, it's now or never to start my business, but I don't have endless time to start my business financially. To me, I've always been very independent. I didn't want to rely on my income of my husband or anything like that. I wanted to be self-sufficient, like I've been my whole life. It's always been a big thing for me that, I'm not in a marriage to be financially secure. I'm in a marriage because of love, and I have to take care of myself. And when I lost my job, I would apply for employment benefits because that was a part of me. I want to be financially independent. And that's why this feeling of running out of time, because there's only so much time you get when you're on employment benefits. And I was lucky. I was able to do a course with them, how to start a business. I was like, oh, why do I need that? But it was specifically for Switzerland, how to start a business. So I did learn a few things, and I'm probably one of the few that actually went ahead and started a business.
Yeah.
And yes, it was a frustrating time, but when you look back, you say, I needed it. I needed this frustration. I have all these learnings from myself and for my clients today, that life isn't just, always a straight path and roses. There are times of frustration, and the frustration also brings you forward. Sometimes I need the frustration to take the next step.
Absolutely. It's a really important part of reinvention is actually falling apart and getting really messy and actually feeling really like, oh my God, I can't see my way out of this. But you had, I mean, you were such an accomplished businesswoman up until that point. So it's really interesting to hear that, because I've just picked this 3-year thing, and it's amazing. Everyone I'm speaking to 3 years ago, their lives were so different. So if we fast forward to today, give us a snapshot of how you have kind of reinvented your success.
Well, that's been amazing. I was half a year in this, blogging and figuring things out after I finally decided to take the next steps, and then things started to move forward. And where I am today is that I've come to a place where I've absolutely replaced my CEO income. And I would say that, it's so far that, I am becoming the breadwinner in my family. And it feels really good to know that what I do now will result in a return. It doesn't mean that everything I do is, just to, not all to get revenue, but it feels like that I'm not struggling. Like several years ago, I would try something I didn't know it would work. Now I have a recipe for me that works for me. And I think everyone has to find their own recipe. So even if you work with a coach, you still have to find your own groove, let's say, and what works for you. And I've found it now. I wouldn't say that even a year ago that I was there. I would say now I found this where I'm comfortable with my programs, and I feel I'm attracting the right people, and I'm growing my business in an organic, fast but still organic way. I think it's not growing that fast that I cannot control it. I feel very comfortable that it's going in a good way, and it feels good to know that. That in 3-4 months, I go through another cycle of groups and that things are just moving forward.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love watching your success. And so if I was to ask you, what does success mean to you? What's your version of success? I know it's a very personal thing. So what does it mean to you?
So success is, maybe it's that wheel of life. I think you've seen that, the wheel of life, where you have like maybe business, finance, health, romance, family, fun and variety, personal development. I think when you have that pretty much in balance as much as you can, that's success. It can, if you have lots of money and your private life is crap, that's not success, that's failure. I know it's difficult to have it completely in balance, because I've noticed when I'm totally excited about my business, I do neglect my health. I must admit. And there's a wonderful TED talk, or even I think it's a commencement speech from Shonda Rhimes about when she is, doing her amazing work. We should know that she's probably neglecting her children. And when she is doing a lot for her kids, she's probably neglecting her job. And I think it's this balance. When you feel in balance, where I feel I can take a day off without a bad conscience, that's success. Yeah. I struggled it for a long time building my business, that every time I took a day off, that I got bad conscious. Oh, I should be working. And I think I'm finally getting there, and that's success to me.
I love that. Sigrun's version of success is being able to take a day off without a bad conscience. Yeah, yes. I love that. We're going to have to write that one down. Yeah, because it is. I mean, I think that that continual cycle between striving and then being able to sit back, and there's so many people out there, we should be hustling all the time, and other people saying like we should never hustle, we should be, attracting it all to us all the time. I think as women, we're very cyclical people. We go up and down anyway with our cycles and with the moon and with everything else. So of course we're going to have in our business, and I think we need, I call it periods of soul hustle and periods of soul surrender, and if we can do that with a good conscience all the time, that we're okay about it. But I think you have to have baselines when it comes to health. I'm very passionate about health, and when it comes to health, I think we have to have our non-negotiables. And then we have the extra things on top of that. We might have our non-negotiables of doing at least like some stretching and drinking enough water and eating a baseline of good food. And then we can have the things on top of that maybe are, like going to 3 yoga classes a week, or things that will take your health to the next level. But because health has been part of your journey, hasn't it?
Yes, health is part of my journey, and I should go for a daily walk. But luckily, I'm a passionate golfer. And especially in the summer, I'm able to play a lot. It's maybe more concentrated on the weekends, so it's not necessarily every day, but at least I have that. And that was a struggle for me. Oh, I'm on the golf course, I should be working. And it's getting to the place where you realize the to-do list will never be finished. And you gotta accept what you can get done and what you are willing to delegate and get help. And it's kind of interesting how more difficult it is to delegate in my business versus when I had a company with 70 employees. I had no problem delegating there, but now it's my own brand and my own business. And I feel like, wow, this is my brand on it. So I feel I have to touch everything, and I'm getting better at it. I'm definitely getting better at it. And it's
definitely a struggle. It's definitely a struggle for so many entrepreneurs, and when you're capable of doing everything, I mean, you're very competent in everything across the board in your business. So it's so easy to have that mindset. I'll just do it myself. I'll just get it done.
Oh, that's probably dangerous. Sometimes I wish I was worse at technology because since I can do everything, it's kind of difficult also for those who want to help me. Is that, well, I often think I can do it better or faster. And but it's great when you have people around you. And I just had this experience yesterday. I have a new assistant, and we're really trying to get things going with a new project. And she realized that I just wasn't able to do it. So she was able to do something where I thought, oh, wow. And I was so happy she just went ahead and did it and didn't wait for me, because that's the problem. I'm the bottleneck, and I need people who can maybe get going without waiting for me.
Have the initiative to just move forward, and you also need to be open for people doing that as well, because I know we can become quite controlling in our businesses to want to keep a hand on everything and letting go of that. And I read once that Richard Branson can do his work in 15 minutes a day, that he can just sit down in the morning and spend 15 minutes sending off emails to his team, basically saying, I need you to take care of this, and I need you to take care of this, and he can go off kite surfing for the day. And I don't know how true that is, but it changed a lot in my mindset around delegating, of realizing actually we don't, and that is a proper business one that of course we have our client time and everything, but it's an interesting mindset shift. So you've mentioned a couple of things there, because I wanted to ask you about what reinvention tips you would have, because you've undergone a complete reinvention around your business and your life in the last 3 years. So what reinvention tips? You've already mentioned delegating, you've mentioned taking some time off, stepping away from your business and be on the golf course or whatever you love, and not having a negative conscience around it. What else?
When I hear the word reinvention, I think about when you start a business, or you could be moving to a different country, or you could be starting a new business. You may be a working corporate before, or you've been a solopreneur and you totally revamped. So reinvention was that I had all these skills and my background and my experience, but you know, in a new industry with new potential clients, nobody knows what you have or what you can offer. And it's a bit of a like, you have to start from ground zero again. And that was a difficult piece of like, don't they know how good I am? Kind of like, no, they don't. How should they? Yeah. So you have to start to market yourself, sell yourself, explain your value, and how do you charge the right price? And there's no right price, but it's often connected to branding. You know, how strong is your brand?
Positioning,
trustworthy positioning. And so that's for me the big reinvention, is to get to a point where, and that's why I say now this year and at this point of this interview, I feel like I've come to a place where now it feels all aligned, and I'm happy about where I am. And the thing was the build up. It takes time, you know, to learn to market and sell your services and price them at a price where you feel like now they are at a level where, yes, this is good and it can still go up, but it is not that you're underpricing yourself or something, where it may be in the beginning for many would feel like it. Oh, wow. You know, I remember my husband saying, well, in corporate, people would pay $1,000 for your hour. I said, well, I have to start with 180 because nobody knows me. Yeah. And then now I can go up to $1,000, but that's different. It's when you have built your brand and people finally know, and I think it's up to us. We have to be able to communicate our value.
Yeah. So are you saying that people need to be a little bit more patient, maybe?
Yeah. I think there is people are going too fast, generally in terms of, and these are often the people that it may even sound spammy. You know, you join a Facebook group and the first thing they do is to share a link to their website or their Facebook page. They are not, you know, things have changed actually generally in marketing. You just don't put things out there. You kind of like, it's going into a cocktail party and talking to everyone first. And then maybe you've been to 5 cocktail parties and then you say, well, you know, I have a offer and I think it would suit you well.
Absolutely. It really is about relationship building, not about, you know, spamming your stuff. Yeah, but it's that patience piece, I think, and I love the saying that, you know, patience isn't a virtue, it's a strategy. And I think it's a strategy that we resist so much because of the shiny object syndrome out there. You see people that appear to have appeared from nowhere overnight and are having these 50K, 100K launches, and it sends everybody else into a frenzy of like, why not me? I've been in business longer than them. Because then what you've so articulated so well is that it takes time. It's a process. And I know you haven't just sat back and waited and wished and meditated on it coming to you. You have done the work every day consistently and systematically to get your business to the amazing point it is at the moment. Yeah, you
have to understand what your client are willing to pay for compared to the value that they see that you've got. So in the beginning, what people wanted from me were webinar and Facebook ads. And I wanted to sell them business strategy, and that there was a mismatch. And I decided to give them what they wanted and what I could give them at the time as well. And then now I sell them business strategy.
Yeah. But now they want that from you. Now they can see that you can get yes, but they've still got to want it. You can't just decide, well, they need this, so I'm going to sell them what they need. It's always what they want, and it takes time.
And that was finally when I understood it. When I internalized this myself, that's when things started to move forward. You give them what they think they need, and then your business can get going. And there's nothing wrong with programming a website for someone when you're starting out your business, doing things that you can do and you know are not going to be the core of your business. Everybody has to start somewhere.
Absolutely. And I think it's fine to stick with a day job or take it something a couple of days a week. I mean, there's no rules there that say as an entrepreneur you can't go and earn some money doing something else. I mean, I had a client recently who said, she said, I've been offered one day a week in a local shop, and I feel like I'm failing at my business for that. I said, no, that's wonderful. She actually really enjoys it. She's got enough that's going to pay for her groceries every week, and she's really happy doing it. And it was just a mindset thing of thinking that this means, and it's always about the story we tell ourselves. So yeah, I love that, Sigrun. So it's really just get the money in the door to start with, and you can grow your passion. You have a free Facebook group. Would you share that to our listeners?
Yes, it's Passion to Profits. It was the tagline that I came up with when I started with those blog posts. I was like, I have to have a tagline. Everybody has a tagline. What do I call myself? Mm-hmm. And I was going in circles, and I started, turning your passion into profits. I also bought the domain. And then I wanted to change it at some point. And then my clients say, no way, you have to stick to it. Because I know there are many people using the same words. And maybe it sounds a bit cliche. But honestly, it's still what I do. So everything around my, what I do, I infuse the word passion and profits. And
yes. So it's a very successful Facebook group. I'd highly encourage everyone to join it, and it's a great part of your overall brand and marketing as well. And if something's working, it's a good idea not to fix it, not to change it.
Yeah, exactly. So I have to stick with it now. So my book is also going to be called "Turning Your Passion into Profits." Great,
your book. Yes, how's that coming along?
Slowly. It's moving forward, but slowly. But I have a great idea how I could potentially push myself. I might even just pre-sell it because I know I'm very committed. Once I've, committed to clients or my audience, I'm very, very committed. I am maybe less committed to my own, promises. So yeah, that's maybe a trick for my brain.
Yes, and that's a trick. Yeah, it's just having that accountability you have once you've said you'll do it, and it can work well. It can work really well once you sell something. Yeah. So I can't wait to see your book. So get that written. Sigrun, thanks so much. So people can find you in your Facebook group. Anywhere else somebody could find you online?
Sigrun.com. Can find me there, and either you sign up there or in the Facebook group. I have regularly webinars, and recently I've also been testing doing it on Facebook Live, my webinars, and that's working quite well too. Yeah.
Yes, I think that's really going to just really, really, maybe some people believe it's going to take over from webinars, but we'll see. It's exciting, interesting,
I just did a 55-minute long Facebook Live yesterday. It was amazing.
Yeah. No, that's great. Well done. Sigrun, thank you so much for sharing all of your wonderful reinvented success with us. It's been such a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.